Reminders, please refrain yourself from unmuting. This session is recorded, so if you do have any questions, you could go ahead and put them in the chat. I will have a question and answers towards the end. So if you have any questions, I will go ahead and touch base on those when I get started going. So, an agenda. We're going to be covering exclusive look. We're going to have a short little demo, and then at the end, if anyone has any questions, I will go ahead and answer them at that moment. Let's get this going. Exclusive look. Many of you might have already seen that tile on desk. It's called exclusive look. And if you don't find it on your desktop, you could go ahead and type it on the search bar up top. You could go ahead and start typing exclusive look, and it will populate it for you. And what is exclusive look? Exclusive look allows agents to share exclusive, hard-to-find listings. You can share the listings with other Coldwell Banker agents before it hits the market. So it'll give Coldwell Banker agents access to your listing before it hits the market. So this is where you could test the price. You could get that going on off the market and get those additional contracts without even going active. CB Exclusive gets your listings in front of Coldwell Banker throughout the nation. So it's not just localized in your area. All the Coldwell Banker agents have access to this. So let's say someone in the East Coast wants to move over to the West Coast and they've already seen any properties. Go ahead and enter it in there. You might be able to get a buyer from another location to your property. There's also sneak peeks. So you could blast out your listing to all participating Coldwell Banker agents 24 hours before your listing goes live. It's a powerful selling option for you to tell your clients that you're able to get in front of your agents or in front of other clients before it hits the market, to give them that added feature on this. And of course, these guidelines are followed through the Clear Corporation and the NAR policy, so you won't be violating any terms on that. So we do want to be careful when we do send it out to our clients. This is only for the agents, but of course, if you're working closely with your client, you are allowed to share that information. So these are some cool features they just released. They've added a map section. So the mapping gives agents the ability to locate listings on the map while searching exclusive look. Before, it used to be just tiles and you would have to kind of see if the address matched to your property, but now it's actually giving you a map where you could geolocate all the properties, or if you have a particular buyer that is looking for properties in very specific neighborhoods, you could actually add that. You could allow up to 10 locations, so 10 zip codes with different parameters, since this will ultimately allow for easier and more seamless, user-friendly experience for yourself. And also you can draw a map. There's drawing options on that as well. And panning, clicking, and dragging. So you could go ahead, just kind of how MLS is working or InTouch when you set up listing alerts for your clients. This new map is that they have the same features, and it will also give the listing column on the left side. So before it used to be just the tiles. Well, now you can see the listing column and the mapping location. It will also give you the price ranges for each listing, so that way you know exactly what properties are and you're not having to click and see all of that. So it's making it more seamless and user-friendly for yourself. The map overlay, so if you hover over the price tag, the little tile of the listing will populate, and like I mentioned, you could draw shapes on there. So let's say they really just want this particular block, and then a block over here. So then you could go ahead and draw that parameter for your buyer's needs on that, and that way you're able to share it with as much exposure as possible another great feature that they just added. It will help you simplify your search or your auto matches. So before you had to actively go in there and look at any sneak peeks or any exclusive listings that were uploaded. Well, now when you put in your buyer's needs, it will automatically kind of populate matching properties on your dashboard. So let's say your buyer has a parameter between 2 beds, 2 bath, and a half bath on a second floor, something like that. Then you could go ahead and enter that parameter, and now you'll be able to get those alerts to let you know that these properties are matching within each section. And it will also give you the agent's contact information where you could just literally click and email them directly, or it has their phone number and you could call them and already set up a showing, or see if there's any other information that they need to know and ahead of time. You will also receive auto-generated emails, so you will be able to set your listing alert notifications and receive those on a regular basis or as often as you want it to. That way you could always stay on top of what's coming up, and also that way you could keep an eye on how your own listing is going on the exclusive look. Some other great features that they've added is the school district. That I know that's really important for families that are moving and they want to include their children in specific school districts. So now they've added that as part as the search criteria for your buyer's needs, or even for your sellers that they have that prime location next to a really good school district. Well, then you could go ahead and place those parameters, and that way you'll get those added buyer requirements ahead of time. And you could see the district, the neighborhood, all the schools that apply to that property, and then obviously you'll be able to add that to your wants and needs if it's very specific that you only want a property in this school district, and that will kind of clear out your access to that listings that don't match to your criteria. And in order to save your criteria to be able to receive those emails on a regular basis, there's a little button that says Save Search, and you'll be able to put how your parameters, so you could do as close as only 5-mile radius or up to 25-mile radius, depending on your zip code. So you could put in your zip code that you want to target. Either it's one city, or you could do a county complete. So this will help you receive those emails, and it will automatically send you an email if something goes live as an exclusive look or as a sneak peek. And also on Fridays, you will receive an email that has a recap of whatever was added throughout that week period. So exclusive look, well, we kind of mentioned it allows you to share your private exclusive listings with a brokerage in a very specific amount of time. So you will need to have an exclusive form that you will have to add that to your contract to let your seller know that this is being added to this platform. And since this is not an MLS listing, you cannot market the property outside of Coldwell Banker exclusive. So we want to make sure that we're still following our local MLS guidelines. So if it is an exclusive property and it's not going to be active on MLS, then we also want to follow those guidelines and not market it on our social media, not market it outside of the Coldwell Banker network, because then at that point you will have to make your listing live and get all of those paperwork, because someone might be out there and they're going to try to look for your property on MLS, and if they do not find it, you never know, they might reach out to compliance, and we want to prevent that. So that's why Coldwell Banker, it has a lot of disclaimers on there to make sure that your listing is being added within the correct parameter. And a couple requirements: the property will only be visible for agents licensed within our brokerage. For example, Northern California will be visible for Northern California agents, but you're able to kind of share. You must confirm that your seller has permission. So like I mentioned, there is that disclosure form that you will have to add to your contract to make sure that all of our parameters are filled. We obviously want to submit to MLS laws and applications and not market our property if it's not. So Sneak Peek is a public platform with an exclusive twist. So this allows you to share your listing with the participating Coldwell Banker affiliates for 1 business day prior to making it live on MLS. So then this is kind of giving you a heads up, like, get ready, it's going to go live on MLS. You better start putting your offers or your showing times on there. And as a bonus, it goes out to the network. And if, let's say, you put it on a Friday and your listing's going to go live on Monday, well, you have those weekend days that do not count as your business days. So that's one little trick if you want to have a little bit more of an exposure on there before it goes live. But this is a sneak peek, usually just 24 hours, kind of like with MLS. You have to have, once you have a signed listing agreement, you have up to, I believe, 48 hours to make it live on MLS, or you have to submit that exclusive listing form on there. Confirming that your seller gives permission and that they submit the listing to the file. So obviously, you know the process on how to submit things to transaction manager. We all, obviously, MLS laws, we really want to ingrain to you that Coldwell Banker has provided this tool for you to give yourself an added exposure for you and your clients, but we want to make sure that we're following the rules all the way through, just for legality reasons. We don't want you to get any complaints and having to pay any fees for not respecting the threshold on those requirements. So within Sneak Peek, we want to make sure that we're checking those boxes. Wants and needs, we obviously want to add that for our buyers. This helps increase their chances that they'll find a buyer's their dream home quicker. We all knew that last year homes were flying off the shelf before you could even finish writing an offer. So this will kind of give you that little headway with your buyers if they're really struggling on finding that perfect home for them. Putting it out there is going to just give you that quick leeway on that and getting that exposure. Also, it helps your fellow partners to review the listings that are coming up. So it might give them an idea of what properties are going, where the locations are actually actively selling. It will also, you could test the price on that, seeing if the price is getting any traffic on there. And now let me come in here and see if I could get out of here and share my, exclusive look. Let me check my chat to see if there's any questions. No. All right. So here is the live version of exclusive look on Desk. So right now I have the Santa Cruz County, which is where I'm located over. So right now we have 2 agents and 2 exclusive listings by 1 agent. So you could see, oh, I'm getting click happy here. I'm sorry. Get out of here. So this is a good example. Let's say you don't have a zip code located. It will automatically pull up a lot of properties. So then you will want to come in and put in your city that you want to. Right now, I'm going to put Santa Cruz. And like I mentioned, there's 2 properties. You could automatically email them directly from there. Just click the email button and it will pull up your Outlook email to email them. If you want to click and view the pictures, you just click on the top pictures. It will open it up. So it gives you that opportunity to upload your own pictures to give them that sneak peek on it. Let's say you're using the Revitalize program and the property is not ready yet, but you want to give them a kind of a view of what it looks like at the moment. You're able to upload up to 10 pictures to give them that view. So you see this one has 2, this one she added a little bit more, and you could add it there. Obviously, if it's an exclusive look property, it's not on MLS, you might not have photographs ready, and that's okay. This is, you could put it as much information as possible or as minimal as necessary. So this is kind of what the features will look like for your listing. It'll say the beds, the bath, the square footage, if you have that available. The more information you add, the faster it is that, let's say, a buyer, an agent has buyer needs already entered. Well, this will be able to trigger it. And then you'll be able to check how many agents have actually targeted or looked at that particular property. And so you'll be able to see where the location of these agents are coming from. So now maybe that's going to be able to give you an idea where the buyers are coming from, and you could use your Home Spotter boost to target that particular area for that exposure. So this is really great information that you could start using one tool and start connecting them with the other Coldwell Banker tools that are provided to you. And like I mentioned, here are all the school network districts that this particular property fits in. If you want, you could go ahead and contact this. You could see the listing. You could export the activity on there, and then it will give you some added information. So let me pull this over here. And this is what it pulled up. It's just kind of like a rough view. Obviously, we can share the property's pictures, and this is what it will look like. So maybe you could email it over to your client. Make sure we want to make sure that we're still following those guidelines onto there. So that is how you would kind of search for properties. You can come in and view it as a list, or now the cool new feature is that they've added the map version. So now you could come here and see where the map is, see the price tag on there. You could always zoom out, or you can zoom in to very particular, and then you would use these features to section out the buyer's needs or your wants. So if you come over here, wants and needs, then in my Monterey area, you see that we have 2 agents with 3 different needs, and you could add if they've already pre-qualified or if it's a cash offer. So you'll be able to come in here, check that out, and if you have a property that fits in with these parameters, you could go ahead, contact the agent and say, hey, let's talk, let's set up a showing. And that way it will help. As you could tell, they only want 2 beds, 2 baths. They don't have any square footage requirements. Out here, you could tell that the requirements has to be of 1 level, or out here, what particular area they want. And you could add your wants and needs straight from here. So you could just click that button. It will auto-populate your information. The first time around, you will have to enter it. It does not contain your picture, but once you've uploaded the picture, it will go ahead and save. Your SSAs and your FMSs also have control to this, so they might be able to assist you in uploading your picture or grabbing that information. But once you've entered it, it should be saved. You could also, if you are part of a team, you could go ahead and click on that section, or if you're co-listing this property, you could also add that particular client to receive those leads as well. So you could add editors. So let's say you have an assistant that helps you with your marketing or helps you with your TC work. You could add them. If they're part of the Coldwell Banker network, if you've already entered them, you could just type in their name. I'm typing myself in, add new, and now I will have permission to edit this if anything needs to be modified. So that would be really good if you're working on it with a team. If you do not add them on here, you do not add your SSA, they will not have access to edit it. So you could just come into the habit of just adding your SSA no matter what, no matter if you don't even need their help, just in case you want to come in here. So you'll put in your information, upload your picture, and then on the left-hand side for your wants and needs, you could add the zip code, want, price requirements, if they have that, if they have different properties, if they want a single family home, multi-unit, things like that, bedrooms, bath, square footage. If they want just a lot, you could go ahead and add that. A description, if they really do only want a lot, you could go ahead, you put a lot. Client wants a lot with located next close to a street. You could put that, and then obviously down here, you see if they're pre-qualified, there's no contingencies, if they're ready to go, or if they have a cash offer. That way it will give you that added bonus onto there. And if we want to go back, we just could click on that exclusive look, and then let's say I want to add a listing onto here for an exclusive listing. I could just come on here, add listing, and the same. So this is a really great important thing. You want to either click if it's an CB exclusive, and if it is, it has this disclaimer on here. You want to make sure you click it before. If you do not click this and you come in, and the add listing will not populate. So you want to make sure that you are clicking the submit button, and then now the add listing will populate. And the same goes if it's sneak peek, you want to make sure that you're following the rules. And the same, if you do not click the box, the add listing will not populate. And then, but the good thing about the sneak peek, it will let you know when it will be archived, whenever it will be removed from the public network. And then also, who gets a lease from this public site? If it goes live, if you want to actually share it to the public sites or just on the local agents onto there. Add all the listing information onto there. Also, you have the option to add your editors, SSA assistant. If, let's say, the listing went live sooner than the 24 hours, we want to go ahead and remove it from there, and it will do that, but the system will automatically remove it if you do forget to do that for the sneak peeks. The CB exclusive actually allows you to do it up to 60 days. So let's say you don't have a date of when the listing is going to go live. So you have an expiration date. If you don't know what it is, you could just leave that and it'll run through the 60 days onto there and extend it. Obviously, as long as you have your modification of terms, you could go ahead and extend your contract if it's going to be an exclusive for a little longer. If, let's say, the property isn't ready to go live or a tenant isn't cooperating on that situation. So after that, you could fill out as much information as possible. You could even upload a link if you have already a Matterport available. You could go ahead and upload that. But again, usually exclusive listings aren't ready or don't have all the material yet. But if you do, or if it was previously listed and it got taken off the market and you still you have all that information available, you could go ahead and use it onto here. And that way you're making sure everyone has as much information for your property. And one other thing, we could save searches. So let's say you really want Santa Cruz. You could tell that it's not part of my saved searches here. So let's say I want to save this. Now I could just come here, save search, and it will let me know what do I want to save it. So let's say I was working for a particular client and they want to look in Santa Cruz. So I could put seller SC needs. And then we could email new matches, set this as a default listing. So if you are actively working with this person and you only want to see their listings, you could go ahead and put it out there, or email new matches and save changes. And now I will start receiving Santa Cruz listings whenever they do come into play. You always have your profile on the top right corner, and you could go ahead and edit some information. Oh, no, you can't. So this is just will show what you have on your HR. So if any of this information is not accurate, reach out to your office manager or your office admin manager, and they will be able to contact HR and update any of this information that you have here. And let's see. And then under your settings, you could see how often you want those emails to be sent to you. So exclusive are daily, so you'll get any updates that were added on the weekend before, or weekly updates. If you only want to receive it every Friday, you could go ahead and do that. The daily sneak peeks, if you want, you could do it every evening. That way, anything that was added for the last 24 hours, you'll be able to receive it. Or you could turn it off. Let's say you don't want to actively be receiving these emails, you could just come on here and switch them off. So, and let's see what else we have. And like the question mark, if you have any questions, if something doesn't check well, you could click that question mark, and it will send you over to the Help Center for Exclusive Look. So here's Exclusive Look. They have training resources, frequently asked questions. You come up here. If you find this page pretty helpful, you could go ahead and hit a like. But that was my quick review of Exclusive Look. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to stop the recording.